How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Gav, aka BEYTEK, and today we're going to delve into the Maxxecu software. We're going to enable anti-lag on the RX7, and we're going to take it for a little run. So I'll show you the settings I'm using for the videos in this clip, and we'll maybe go for a little rip later on. But just a short video show it working. So we'll try a little bit of anti-lag Maxxecu, see what it's like. That thing sounds fucking class. Let's set the wee camera up so you can see. See if it works while driving. Yes. Yep. Oh, what? It's probably really bad for the exhaust valve, that's for sure. Let's see. Oh, second gear will not go well. Just test it out. So. Oh man, that's good fun. Oh, I need to show you that in the log. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're at me again when I'm speaking shite for a bit on the old laptop, but I'm going to go over a couple of logs and show you what's what. I was having issues. I have to redo this recording again because I don't know, it's just me and computers. There's no the best when it comes to formats and shit like that. Anyway, so we're going to get into it. We have, I'll show you here. So remember the video you just seen a second ago, the stationary rev, and this is the log for that. I log like basically everything. I like to see all sorts of data. It's good fun. So yeah, the very first thing I'll show you here is the stationary just sitting there revving. If you look at the fueling here, please ignore this sort of stuff because obviously I was just setting it up for the very first time, but I kept the fueling really rich, really rich. I didn't want it to really go in lean. But you can see here all these revs going up and down, you know, as I'm revving it. And this is I have the two throttle positions here, so I have pedal position, sorry, I think this is pedal position as the throttle position, and this is the main actual E-throttle, the position it's at. So my throttle jabs the throttle up to 100% and lets off, but the E-throttle stays at 24%. So because that stays open, the ignition will retard. I'll see if I can show you a retard. I think I've got a retard in here to show you, yeah, ignition angle. So as you can see, I've let off the throttle here, the ignition angle drops to like -23 and the fueling is still flying in there. Throttle is still open, and you can see we're building boost, so that bangs and pops and stuff like that is it building boost and obviously igniting the fuel really late in the combustion cycle. So then that's what basically anti-lag is. So that's this one here. I'll show you another one which kind of caught me off guard actually. It was one where I come off the throttle and I jabbed it back on again. It was going low speed, but oh my god, it felt really unnatural. Like, this is so aggressive, this anti-lag. Even just set up as basic as I've got it, you know, for just like response, it's absolutely insane. Like, it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. So revving up to like 4,000 RPM, I'm letting off the throttle here. You know, my pedal's off, and you know, the E-throttle is on, and it builds boost, just builds boost, build boost. I hit the throttle. You know, I get a little bit of wheel spin there just in that millisecond of jabbing the throttle. I let off the throttle again, but obviously throttle stays open, anti-lag is enabled, and it just builds more and more and more and more boost. Well, like 0.5 of bar doesn't sound like a lot, but on my car, you know, at 4,800, it's probably about 350 horse, maybe 400 horse. It's quite a lot. So yeah, this is only really for sort of rally cars, I would say, because it's so aggressive. If you're interested, we can look at EGTs as well, because obviously this sort of shit's bad for your exhaust valves. EGT's up to like 600 odd, you know, mid 600s. Ignore this one. This one's always about 40 degrees cooler. Just the way my engine runs, it's always the same. But yeah, so it does heat up quite a bit, but it doesn't get mega hot. But if you were to do it for any length of time, yes, it probably would. So let's look at the settings anyway, and I can show you the settings I ran on that log. So if we go into anti-lag here, BEYTEK Maxxecus, if you want to go into your log and you can see the part that you were actually, you know, racing on, you can see the crosshairs here moving. So you can see whereabouts in the map you were regarding your timing and fueling. So first settings here, obviously enabled, and switch input is what I've got it at. It was just a little switch on my handbrake if you want to go back and have a wee look at that. Timeout is 2 seconds, so basically if I let the throttle off, it'll anti-lag for 2 seconds. Now 2 seconds feels a lot longer when you're in the car, especially when you think your valves are going to come flying out of the exhaust. So yeah, I'm probably going to move that down to like 1.5 or 1. Because realistically you're not off the throttle for that long, you know, needing the boost. Although again, I say this is more for rally cars because it's so aggressive. Enable TPS, so you have to be over 25% throttle before it'll work, over 2000 RPM before it'll work, and enable speed, I've got it at 0 because I wanted to do it stationary. Minimum coolant temp and the timeout RPM limiter, I think this is as soon as it drops to 1700 it'll just basically cut off. We've got the e-throttle here as well. That's the way air supply, but you've got you know, you can increase, you can put a solenoid in it. You can use your idle control solenoid, but I'm not sure how well that would work. But I'm just e-throttle, so I just leave it there. You can have a fixed amount of air added, but I just use a table. Added air percentage just by coolant temp, but you can, like, you know, BEYTEK Maxxecu, you can change this to anything you want. So I don't know, do it by PID iTerm, you know what I mean, both. Oh. Let's try that. Yeah, just go like that just now. So you can see. So you can like use any axis in Maxxecu for any graph. It's an absolutely awesome bit of kit. But yeah, basically you can see here sort of the degrees. Let's change the axis, but if I go back, Control Z, you can see here coolant temp here. So this is the amount of air it's adding in. So 25% e-throttle. When I'm letting off, my e-throttle will stay open this amount. And as you can see here, obviously as it's building boost, the build and boost, it starts closing back up again because I don't want to boost like to 5 bar of boost. And this is ignition timing here. So as obviously throttle position, I'm coming off the throttle and it starts pulling massive amounts of time in to cause that unburnt exhaust gas to spool the turbo. And same here, ignition drop as well. Just the same thing, cause that massive amount of heat to spool the turbo. And fuel adjustments, I'm adding 20%, 10%, but you could probably see in the log there, it is quite rich, but I haven't really dialed it in. It was just more to kind of get in the ballpark. So obviously targeting here, which I'd probably ignore, and I just like to have it nice and rich. If you know me as a tuner, I keep things rich, but touch wood, this is why I've not melted any engines yet. I've thrown rods at engines, but unfortunately there's no map for rods. But yeah, I like to keep things rich. It just seems to keep my engines alive a little bit longer. So touch wood, because probably fucking jinxed myself there. So yeah, that's it. That's my launch control setup. Car is making quite a bit of power now. I'll be taking it to the dyno next week. Expect it to make quite a lot of power. It's very fast. I've been in a lot of fast cars. This feels very fast. So I need to sort all that sort of stuff out. VE map is looking very VE. It's not, you know, it's alright. It's not 100% dialed in, but fortunately Maxxecu is very good at correcting all your fuck ups. Anyway guys, that's going to do it. I'm going to leave you with another wee clip, just a wee pull, and hope you guys are staying safe, keeping well, and as always, we'll catch you in the next video.